and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to go over how to fit cardio in your powerlifting program. So this is a question that someone's asked me before, and I was hoping to do a podcast episode on this sometime soon where we can really dive deep into the topic. But I figured until then I'll put a little quick video together going over some ideas that you guys can think about until then. And if you want to look at any research or any other articles or stuff like that on the topic online, you can look at concurrent training, which is basically this idea of having the resistance training and the aerobic training at the same time and trying to optimize it. So the first thing you want to kind of think about is understanding your goal, why you're doing it, why you're implementing this solution of cardio. Is it actually solving the problem that you have? So there's lots of different reasons why you may do cardio. I listed a few of them here. One may be you're trying to produce a caloric deficit, but you might want to basically do an audit of your calories in and out and see, do you actually need the cardio to produce a deficit, or can you just do it through what kind of food you're eating and adjusting your calories and your macros to get the deficit that you need. For example, if you're someone who is consuming 3,000 calories and then you're burning 3,500 calories to get you into a deficit of 500 calories, then that way you're still going to be able to get a lot of food in, a lot of nutrients and minerals in, and still get the deficit you want, and you might not need cardio at all. But if you're someone who's only eating 1,000 calories and burning 1,500 calories to get your 500 calorie deficit, well, you're only eating 1,000 calories, so that might be pretty miserable. You're not getting the right nutrients and micronutrients that you need, and so you may need to implement cardio in order to get more of a caloric expenditure, and then maybe you're even able to eat some more too to not starve yourself throughout the day. So it depends on where you are on that scale on whether you actually need the cardio or not. Another reason could be for just general health. If you're someone who's trying to improve your health, maybe you have to bring down certain markers that you have, then it could be a reason to put in there that you may not be able to get through just resistance training and just through your nutrition. And then the other one, there are some crazy people out there who find it fun to do cardio for extended periods of time. And if you are someone that does that and you don't want to force yourself to never do cardio while you're a powerlifter for a number of years, then you may want to find a way where you can put low bursts of cardio in there to maintain that fun. All right. So some things that you can do if you want to put in the cardio is figure out what's the most important to you of all the things that you're doing. So are your strength sessions in your training program the most important? Are your volume sessions in your training program most important? Or maybe another type of session you're doing, whether it's power, dynamic effort, those things may be more important to you. Is the cardio sessions the most important to you? So basically you want to kind of look at all the different types of sessions you do and figure out, okay, this one I feel is the most important because I want to make progress in this area. This one is second important, and this one is the least amount of importance, but I still want it in there. So I kind of put in a hierarchy that I think maybe a lot of people for powerlifting would set up, which is the strength sessions are the most important because they want to maximize their strength still. The volume sessions are second important because it helps the strength and it also helps with building some muscle, which may be important to them. And then cardio is the least important, where they still want to may burn some body fat, may improve their general health a little bit, but they don't want it to be the main thing and take away from the other two. So something to think about. And then when you want to decide basically what cardio to do, there's some things to think about here as well. So one would be, are you doing cardio that's lower body or upper body? So there's different machines out there you can do, whether it's a rower or elliptical, a treadmill. There's also just going out and jogging or going into pool and swimming. Some of them are more lower body intensive, some are more upper body intensive, and some have a mixture. If you're doing something that's more lower body intensive, then you have to be wary about your lower body workouts, your squat or your deadlift. If you're doing something that's upper body intensive, then you might want to be wary about your upper body workouts, your bench or your overhead press, depending on what you're doing. The other thing you want to look at is joint stress. If you're doing a lot of running, it's going to put a lot of stress on the knees. And then if you're also doing a lot of squatting, it's going to put a lot of stress on the knees. So then you might feel joint pain or even maybe muscular pain from like overuse in the quadricep muscles. So some things to think about is the type of cardio that you're doing and how you can fit it in with your training, your resistance training, to minimize joint stress and overworking certain muscles. The other thing would be the duration. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to just go in and do maybe 15, 20 minutes, like steady state, low stress, just to get some cardio in there, burn some calories, that kind of stuff? Or are you trying to do maybe more intense stuff with doing 1 or 2 hours of just nonstop jogging? That's going to be a little bit more fatiguing on the body. And then connected with that is the frequency. Are you just trying to go in once or twice a week to do the 20 minutes, or are you trying to do 3, 4, 5 sessions a week? And it's really going to take a big effect on the training, especially depending on how much training days you're doing. So if you're training 4 times a week, 5 times a week, and then trying to do cardio 4 times a week or 5 times a week, it's probably going to be too much. Another thing that encompasses all of this is how long are you going to do it for? Are you trying to just do cardio for a few weeks and then maybe take a few weeks off and then put it back in for a few weeks and cycle that way? Or are you trying to do cardio every week for 16 weeks straight? That's going to slowly add up, and the fatigue is going to build up, and then you're going to have more issues with trying to build the strength and maintaining your joint health and that kind of stuff. So let's go over an actual example here. So for this example, I put someone who wants to do resistance training 4 times a week, and then they want to do cardio 2 times a week, and it's going to be lower body cardio. So let's just say they're on the treadmill. So what we can do is figure out what we want to prioritize. So like I said, most people want to prioritize the strength sessions. So here, pick which days you want to do your strength sessions, or which days you think would be best for you. So let's just say we want to do it Thursday and Friday. We want to do it end of the week. So here we'll do our strength lower body, and here we'll do our strength upper body. All right, next on our priority I had was the volume session. So let's put in the volume sessions. So let's do those at the beginning of the week, and let's try and put a little rest day in there on Wednesday. So we'll do them on Monday and Tuesday. So we'll do our volume lower body on Monday, and we'll do our volume upper body on Tuesday. So now we have our 4 resistance training days down, and now we have to figure out our 2 cardio sessions. So if we want to prioritize our strength and our cardio is lower body, then we want to try and avoid doing the cardio prior to our lower body sessions, especially this strength lower body session. So this one would be the most important, and then let's just put this as second because our cardio is lower body. So we want to try and avoid doing cardio into these sessions, preferably 24 hours between the cardio and then the upcoming lower body session. Even better would be 48 hours or 72 hours. So you can put them on your off days if you have those free. So let's say you have Saturday free, so we'll do cardio there. But if you don't have one of your off days free, you want to maintain those off days, then what you would do is you would do it on one of your resistance training days, but you do it after your training. So either directly after you train, a little bit of break to obviously switch your equipment, take a little break, or maybe later in that day. So what you could do is, for example, you do your volume lower and then you do your cardio afterwards. So we're always doing our cardio after the training, if we're doing it on the same day, or we're trying to keep it away from the lower body if you're doing your cardio that's also lower body, if you're doing it on an off day. So for example, even though Sunday is an off day, we want to try and avoid doing that going into our volume lower. And even though Wednesday is an off day, we want to try and avoid that going into our strength lower, because you're going to still be fatigued and it's going to affect that training session. And over weeks and weeks and weeks of it affecting that training session, you're not going to be able to progress as fast, and it's going to hold you back. But in this way, doing the cardio on Saturday gives us 48 hours away from our volume lower. And then if you did the cardio after the volume lower, it's not going to affect that session. And then you're going to have possibly 72 hours before your strength lower. So you really are well rested going into that strength lower, so you can focus on doing the best you can on that session. So hopefully that helps you out. Again, just to review, figure out whether the cardio is actually necessary based on what problem you're trying to solve or what your goals are. Then prioritize the things within the week. What's the most important to you out of all the training sessions? What's the second most important, third most important, all the way down to what's the least important? And then also figure out what type of cardio you want to do, how long you want to do it, how many times a week you want to do it. And based on those parameters, you can figure out where you need to place it in reference to lower body sessions, upper body sessions, if it has to be on an off day or if it has to be on a training day, that kind of stuff. All right. Hope that helps you out.